Manchester City, treble winners in the 22-23 season, winning the FA Cup, the Premier League and the Champions League. The second team to ever do it behind Manchester United in 1999. They managed to do it with an absolute robot up front in Erling Haaland. Now, they have got 115 FFP charges over their head, and with this save to make this rebuild a little bit more difficult, we've given them a 3-year transfer ban. Now, İlkay Gündoğan, captain, has left to Barcelona. Riyad Mahrez has gone to Saudi Arabia. We've brought in Mateo Kovacic from Chelsea and Josko Gvardiol before the ban had been set in. Now, disclaimer, this is not real life. This is FM. This is fake. These charges have not been given as a transfer ban, so please don't abuse me in the comments for giving them a 3-year ban. But if you rebuild Manchester City, you've got to make things a little bit more difficult because you've got 20 youth facilities, 20 training facilities, and an unbelievable squad already at the club. So without further ado, let's get right into it and make sure to stick around to see when we win our second treble with Manchester City. I mentioned the ridiculous squad, and obviously the ridiculous tactics as well of Pep Guardiola. We're set up in a 3-2-4-1 system. If you haven't seen this tactic before, it's on the channel. The link is just below to go ahead and download this one from the Sortitoutsi website. And there's a star player in this team which you guys would already have noticed, and that is Josko Gvardiol. Now, when simulating this save, this deal was completed. Man City seemed to have maybe messed this one up in real life, but I think it will still go through a little bit later in the window. So Josko Gvardiol is here at Manchester City, 22 years of age, a fantastic centre-half with some great determination, aggression, bravery. His pace is unbelievable on the left-hand side of a back three. I think that is a fantastic signing. And the signing of Mateo Kovacic as well, I think is a very shrewd piece of business. I think it replaces Gündoğan in a very good way. You can see in the tactic we have got attacking midfielder on support. I think Kovacic suits that role very, very well. Gündoğan was unbelievable there. I'm sure Kovacic is going to be the exact same. I mean, in the start, we also mentioned some sort of robot guy, Erling Haaland. I mean, 20 determination, 17 acceleration, 19 pace, 18 finishing, 16 first touch. He's probably going to break lots of records in this next 5 years. He's probably going to go on to beat Alan Shearer's record in the next 5 years, because in this formation, in the tactic test, he scored 111 goals on his own. So he is going to be a little bit good, but I'm expecting this team to sort of decline a slight bit over the next 5 years. Obviously, we've got Kevin De Bruyne of 32 years of age. I guarantee at the end of this save at 37, he will no longer be maybe at the club, but not be a star man indeed. We've got youngsters like Julian Alvarez, who's just 24 years of age and is absolutely fantastic, who I'm sure is going to flourish. You've got Manchester City youngster Cole Palmer as well, who with this ban coming in is probably going to get much more of an opportunity than he would do in real life if they were able to splash the cash. And obviously as well, we have got the man, the myth, the legend, Jack Grealish. He loves a beer, he loves a night out, but guess what? He's also going to be fantastic over these next 5 years. I mean, great dribbling, great flair. I mean, who doesn't actually really like Jack Grealish? It's quite hard to dislike him, and you can tell I am indeed a Manchester United fan. One more player I do actually also really like in real life, and it's hard to like him, is Phil Foden. Now, this guy is absolutely outrageous and is such a good footballer to watch. With 17 dribbling, 17 first touch, great flair, determination, vision, work rate, pace, technique. He is absolutely fantastic. Just 24 years of age. By the end of this 5 years, he is going to be in his absolute prime. Now, obviously, last season, we ended up winning the treble. This season, it's going to be very difficult to go ahead and do that same thing. We need to win a couple of trophies because, you know, the morale is going to be a little bit down. 3 years of no transfers. So by 2026, we can start making transfers. This first 3 years is going to go quite thick and quite fast. Season 4 and Season 5, we're going to bring in some absolute wonder kids. So make sure to stick around to see who we're going to sign for Manchester City, not Manchester United. But let's get right into it. Season number 1, the simulation. Who can we go out and beat? We start things off at the start of the season in the Super Cup with a 4-1 battering of Roma. Now, I do want to show quite a few highlights with this tactic because it is absolutely fantastic, and you guys are going to enjoy seeing a hell of a lot of goals and a lot from robot man Erling Haaland. You see John Stones here bursting through from the back line, finds Rodri, finds Haaland, ditches it off to De Bruyne. On the outside of his foot, he finds the top corner. Stones again with a drive and run forward, finds Julian Alvarez, takes it out wide, drops it in, and Phil Foden batters it in off the post. In the 90th minute, Alvarez is going to whip this one in, and Haaland is going to knock it home for 4-1. And the most impressive thing of this game is 39 shots, 4.45 XG, and 60% possession. Now, obviously, the Super Cup is not the only tournament that we did end up winning. We ended up winning the other absolutely massive one at the start of the season, the Community Shield. Haaland got a brace, Foden got one, Saka got one for Arsenal, but it wasn't quite enough to beat Manchester City in this one. Now, I have to say, the Carabao Cup, we lost in the final to Arsenal. Extra time. Arsenal have done it. They've knocked us out. Haaland scored. Alvarez was injured. Cole Palmer, with a lot of passion, ended up getting sent off in the 91st minute. Saka and Gabby Jesus won it for Arsenal in a real ding-dong battle of 59 shots over the whole entire match. That is absolutely outrageous and probably one of the most fun games to ever go and watch in real life. A Man City versus Arsenal final with 59 shots. In the FA Cup, I mean, I always banter it. Spurs never win trophies. They actually beat us in the FA Cup final. A 3-2 victory. Kjolwin with 2 goals. Harry Kane with 1. Stones and Alvarez scored for us, but Haaland was not available for this one. He was injured. So Alvarez took the line. Sergio Gomez off the right wing. Grealish off the left. Kovacic and Foden and Cam. Looks like De Bruyne was also not available. So glad to see we didn't win that one. The Champions League, we obviously won it last year. Very convincingly a 1-0 victory over Inter Milan. This season, we were placed up against Real Madrid in the final. And it starts off with an Alaba penalty to make it 1-0 for Real Madrid. Jack Grealish down this left-hand side. A great switch of play to Cole Palmer, who gets the start, finds De Bruyne, and he knocks it home for 1-1. Kovacic sitting deep, finds Cole Palmer again, always involved in this final, finds Julian Alvarez for 2-1. I'm going to get a third very, very quickly. Grealish, Rodri, Laporte, Grealish over the top, and Julian Alvarez knocks it home for 3-1. Before Real Madrid come back with 1 goal. Zaniolo finding a Militao, Valverde. Zaniolo finishes at home for a goal for Real Madrid. But a 3-2 victory in this final. Another dominant display from ourselves. Out-XGing them, outscoring them, out-shooting them. Sadly, possession, we lost by 1%, so basically a loss. But another treble in this season because of the Champions League, the Super Cup and the Community Shield. Obviously 2 massive trophies in there. We didn't win the Premier League. That went to the greatest club in the world, Manchester United. 92 points. Very impressive season. 30 wins, 2 draws and 6 losses. But we come second place on 85 points, which I believe off the top of my head is the same as they got this season. So we basically won the league. We'll take it. Good job. But yeah, 85 points, 66 goal difference, 26 wins, 7 draws and 5 losses. Erling Haaland, just the 46 goals in the Premier League and 70 overall in the whole season and just 11 assists. So he done it right, and he was out from the start of April. So he's quite good, isn't he, on this game? Good old Erling Haaland for Norway now, 33 caps and 38 games. It's going to be interesting to see if he does break Shearer's record. We'll add on at the end the goals he scored from last season because obviously they haven't sort of got into place. Assist-wise, Julian Alvarez with 17 assists, Jack Grealish with 15 as well. And if we actually go into the squad and break down how we actually performed, like I said, 70 goals for Haaland, 35 goals and 26 assists for Julian Alvarez. What a fantastic season this season. A real breakout year after a sort of bit part role last season with the transfer ban coming in. And obviously with Gundogan leaving, he's going to get a lot more game time anyway. And he looks absolutely fantastic now. 16 first touch, great finishing, flair, stamina, pace, work rate. He is absolutely brilliant and obviously helped get us a few trophies on the way. Phil Foden with 18 and 17. Kevin De Bruyne with 16 and 20. Cole Palmer started 38 games and got 20 off the bench, scoring 14 goals and 11 assists. So again, really happy to see Cole Palmer come through the academy and do absolute wonders as well. James McAtee out on loan. Ruben Diaz with 7 goals. Jack Grealish scored 6. But did get 26 assists. Sergio Gomez as well, just 15 starts, but 17 assists and 2 goals. Obviously, all the wonder kids that have left to join Southampton for £40 million each are all out the door, but it doesn't mean we aren't going to get more wonder kids come through. And James Nichols, George Moody, Dennis Moses and Sam Evans are all 5-star potential players at Manchester City. So their potential is going to be absolutely outrageous. We'll have to keep an eye on how they do progress. In the under-21s, no one fantastic stands now that could potentially break into the side. Kai possibly could, but when you look in depth on his stats, he doesn't quite look like a Premier League standard player. Obviously, we are Manchester City, so we're pretty good in the Premier League as well. Obviously, we're now going to go ahead straight to the end of season number 2. No transfers to spend. The transfer money is going up. We've got £338 million. Don't worry, I'm not going to spend £1 billion as soon as we get the chance. I mean, that's what they would do in real life, but we're not going to do that in this save. Season 2, let's get right into it. Let's go ahead and win the Premier League, get that title back, maybe another couple of trophies along the way as well. So we start things off in the Champions League final, and this is not something that I would like to see in real life. A Manchester City versus Manchester United final. Alessandro Martinez's own goal gives Manchester City the Champions League trophy. A very, very good game. Man City, obviously, very good team. United setting up in a 5-2-3 with Raspadori, Rashford and Fernandes up front, Mount, Casemiro, Mukiele, Shaw, Jose Jimenez, Martinez, Varane and Anthony Trubin in goal. A very, very interesting side for United. But we have come ahead and we have won the Champions League trophy. Back-to-back years. 3 years in a row now for City winning the Champions League. Again, as a United fan, that is quite painful, but I suppose that's sort of my job here in this rebuild, to continuously win Champions League trophies. And speaking of continuously winning trophies, how about another FA Cup trophy? Building out from the back, Edison decides to go long, a mistake at the back line, and Haaland is going to punish Chelsea for that one. Just 26 minutes into this one, Vardio, finding Laporte, finding Foden, ball over the top. Erling Haaland's there to finish it off yet again for a second goal. And he's going to get a hat-trick. Akanji's going to intercept this one. He's going to burst forward. He's going to find Haaland from a goal. And he's going to bag it for a hat-trick in a FA Cup final. Chelsea are going to get one back. Sterling. But then Tammy Abraham, who blasts this one home. But, you know, another win for Manchester City. Another FA Cup final. 15 shots to their 14. Great on the XG. Dominated on possession. I think the difference was that robot, Erling Haaland, up front. Last season, the trophy that eluded us was the Premier League trophy. Was it going to be 2 seasons in a row of not winning it? No, it wasn't. We did end up winning it on 84 points. We scored 104 goals, conceded just 48, and had a goal difference of 56 in terms of player stats. I've actually managed to bugger up the sort of save where you save it, so I can't see you exactly how many goals, but Haaland did get 56 goals in the Premier League alone, scored 108 in 63 games, and I mean, he's an absolute alien. This guy is just simply fantastic. I'm guessing a lot of players as well did fantastic in terms of the rest of the team. Jack Grealish last season managed to score 4 goals, 7 assists. Only played 39 games last season, to be fair, did Jack Grealish. Phil Foden, hopefully last season, another fantastic season. 7 goals, 4 assists, scored 16 over the whole entire season. Kevin De Bruyne, how did he do last season? 7 goals, 15 assists is quite good for Kevin De Bruyne. And Julian Alvarez as well, after a fantastic first season, fell off a little bit. 3 goals and 8 assists, just 5 and 18 over the whole entire season. But good to see him still getting on the score sheet. Cole Palmer had a fantastic first season. Last season, made 6 starts, 13 off the bench, scored just 4 goals and 3 assists. Very weird how FM sometimes simulates things going forward. Obviously, that is our last simulation we have done for season number 2. We're going to go ahead now, season number 3, finish off this transfer ban period, and then we can start spending some sweet, sweet money and bring in some absolutely unbelievable wonder kids you guys are going to see the Spanish contingency we bring through in the next 2 years. Well, I managed to not actually mess up a save file, which is absolutely fantastic. A 3-2 victory in the Community Shield, a brace from Haaland, a goal from De Bruyne, Salah and Kvaratskhelia for Liverpool getting the goals over there. Unbelievable front three of Salah, Osimhen, Kvaratskhelia, Dewsbury Hall, Matthias Nunes and Fabinho midfield of Trent Alexander-Arnold, Kim Min-jae, Van Dijk, Robertson and Kelleher in goal. Obviously, Alisson being rested for the Community Shield. But that team for Liverpool is absolutely fantastic. We managed to beat them 3-2 in the Community Shield. In the Super Cup as well, we won 4-2 against Spurs. We lost it last season to Liverpool. But a hat-trick from Haaland, a goal from Cole Palmer and a late goal from Fedi Kadiglu for Spurs made it a little bit squeaky, but we ended up winning that one 4-2. A nice, easy victory. In the FA Cup, we knocked down the 5th round by Liverpool, who lost in the final to Chelsea. In the Carabao Cup, we knocked down the quarterfinals by West Ham, of all clubs. And a 2-1 loss, which is absolutely infuriating, means we still haven't won the Carabao Cup. There was a time when Man City always won this 4 times in a row. We can't get our hands on it now, so that's a little bit frustrating. Another thing that's frustrating, Premier League. We lost it by 1 point to Chelsea, and Haaland scored 69 goals in the Premier League alone. Scored 116 overall this season, 12 assists. He is absolutely outrageous on this game. It's actually scary how good he is, and if he comes out anywhere close to these numbers in real life, we might as well just, you know, sack it all off and go and support Al Ahly or something in Saudi Arabia, because Haaland on an 8.35 average rating was outrageous. Sergio Gomez this season got 31 assists and 8 goals, and last season he also got 3 goals and 15 assists, so he is really progressing into a fantastic winger. I'm guessing he is probably sort of, I guess sometimes on the right hand side, because he obviously can play inverted, and also playing on that Jack Grealish role down the left wing. So very excited to see how well he is doing. Obviously this is the last season where we cannot make signings, and I mean, we're going to have a lot of money to go ahead and spend. We've got £371 million. And the trophy that I haven't shown you this year is because we haven't won it. We lost in the semi-finals to Real Madrid. And winning in the final was Arsenal. Meaning, obviously, the Champions League has been in England for 5 years, but our 4-year Champions League dominant spell has ended. It would have been quite cool to get 5 in a row, I suppose, but we're not going to manage to get that one, even though Haaland scored 27 goals in the Champions League alone. I've alluded to the Spanish contingency coming in. We've got £371 million spent. The finances are looking great now. The charges are all gone. Obviously, they were imaginary charges. We did it for a little bit of fun. To show you guys the under-18s, the potential is absolutely fantastic. Dennis Moses, who we have mentioned, is looking good, 18 years of age, possibly needs to go out on loan. And Nicky Ale, Charlie McCormick, Magnus Kundle, and Richie Hambry looking good as well. We've got James Nichols now in a under-21s role. Looks fantastic. Welsh winger, 16 off the ball, great finishing, dribbling, and pace. But we're going to go ahead and spend some money. We've had 3 years of being strapped. It's not spending a single penny. I need to get it out of my system. So let's go and spend a hell of a lot of money and bring in some absolutely unbelievable Wonder Kids. Before we get into the Wonder Kids silence, I want to say a massive thank you to the Patrons on screen right now. You guys are absolute legends. And if you do want to pick up this save file, it's going to be down in the Patreon link below. Obviously, a Man City save file might not be the most fun, but the Aston Villa rebuild we done the other day is fantastic. We've got Inter Milan, AC Milan. If you're a Manchester United fan watching a Man City rebuild, try being one making it. But there is also that rebuild down there as well. So you guys, if you do want to pick up any rebuild files, they are down in the Patreon below. And a massive thank you to anyone that supports over there. If you're on YouTube, like the video and subscribe to the channel as well. It helps me out massively. We've pushed over 2k and you guys are all absolute legends. Now, we're mentioning a Spanish contingency coming through into the club, and the first sign is going to be £115 million of Nico Williams, a 24-year-old winger who is absolutely fantastic. Some unbelievable pace, great off the ball work, great vision work, great passing, finishing, dribbling, runs the ball down both flanks. And for £115 million after 3 outrageous signings in Spain, where a 7.34, a 7.28 and a 7.23 average rating, we had to go in and grab them, didn't we? We had to go out and sign some of the best players in the world. And Nico Williams is the first man we have brought in. And trust me, that's only the start, because Yeremy Pino has been brought in for the other wing as well. I mentioned we went for a lot of Spanish players, and there's another one in season at number 5. Now, Yeremy Pino, we know how great this guy is. Great dribbling, flair, technique, vision, pace is fantastic as well. Very tricky little winger, and is absolutely outrageous on this game. £50 million again after 3 fantastic seasons in Spain, all above a 7.14 average rating. So great to get Yeremy Pino into the club. And a player they've been linked with quite heavily in real life, another Spaniard in Gabri Veiga. Now, he's going to be more of a rotation option in that cam role behind De Bruyne, Foden, Palmer. He's still absolutely fantastic. On FM, I don't think his ability is quite as good as it is in real life. This guy is an absolute superstar in real life. So Gabri Veiga is into the club, and hopefully we're going to see some absolute wonders from him over the next couple of years now, because there's only 2 left to go. Devin Wrench has been brought in, the first man who's not Spanish, as a backup centre-back. Now, he is absolutely fantastic again on this year's game. Some great stats, some great pace, great passing, determination. Again, it's a very Manchester City Pep Guardiola centre-back, I think. Very similar to a Nathan Ake build. Great pace, great build for a centre-back as well in a 3-back system. And the final sign I'm going to make is Romeo Lavia. Now, Romeo Lavia, heavy linked to Liverpool in real life. They seem to be dilly-dallying over it. Well, he's also come through the Manchester City Academy, and on this save, Liverpool didn't pick him up, so we're going to go ahead and pick up Romeo Lavia for ourselves. Now, it was a signing which we did go and make for £40 million, but he's absolutely fantastic. And as a rotation option for Rodri, for John Stones, he's obviously getting on now because we are in 2026. Romeo Lavia, I'm sure, is going to get a hell of a lot of gameplay. Now, a few players that have left the club over the last few years, we'll go through them now. Sergio Gomez has left to go to Chelsea for £30 million. Laporte has left to PSG for 17. We've had a few outgoings here of Calvin Phillips, even to Newcastle last season. The season before that, no one really ended up leaving the club, and before that, no one again really ended up leaving the club. Obviously, having a transfer ban, we didn't want to get rid of too many players because that had been very, very scary. We're in a lot of competitions this season. Again, the Community Shield, the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, Champions League and Premier League. But the squad is looking absolutely fantastic. When we look at our best 11, I think we've done a very good job. Edison in goal, Wrench, Diaz and Gvardiol as the back 3. Rodri and Lavia in midfield. Williams on the right, Pino on the left, De Bruyne and Foden in cam, with Haaland up front. Sam Evans is a young player that's come through the academy, 18 years of age. How good does he look? 5-star potential. He looks absolutely fantastic. He's the backup goalkeeper Cooper to Edison. Akanji, Doyle and Ake are the back three centre-backs. Now, Ake I haven't mentioned too much. On FM, he's not quite as good as he in real life. I think in real life, he's a fantastic centre-half and has just signed a brand new contract. He doesn't have a sort of bit part player role. Hopefully, he can progress very well. He's only 30, well, he's now 32 years of age, so he won't progress much more, but he is still here at the club. Rico Lewis has been developed into a CDM. He's been playing, again, a sort of very minor bit part role in the club, but a very good backup with John Stones. Cole Palmer, James McAtee, Gabri Vega and Jack Grealish make up the back four, the front four backups, with Julian Alvarez, the backup to Erling Haaland as well. Liam Delap is still here. A lot of the Wonder Kids are here as well in the first team, training with the lads and going out and playing under 18s and under 21s football as well. So a very good way to develop your Wonder Kids if you did not know that. Let's go ahead and have some fun. We've still got a lot of money in the bank, £160 million. I told you I wasn't going to go too outrageous. I mean, if we look at where we actually spent, it was only 260 million, so not that bad, not that much money. Now we've made some signings. Surely the trophies are going to come flying in. Season 4, let's go and win some. Well, you can spend the money you want on Wonder Kids on the wings, anywhere you want, but when you've got a player like Phil Foden in the club, you're doing pretty well already. A 4-1 victory in the Community Shield, a hat-trick from Phil Foden with 2 goals very late on the 90th and 94th minute. We brought home the Community Shield, which is fantastic. It's a trophy which City always end up winning. We've now won in 3 out of the 4 seasons, so very happy to bring that one home. And would you believe me if I told you that was the only trophy we won all season? Probably wouldn't, because you can see I'm clicking around on the screen, and we are going to go ahead and we're going to win in the FA Cup. Now we're seeing this Liverpool team with Kvaratskhelia, Osimhen, Salah, etc. Now the team is absolutely fantastic, and they did end up going 1-0 up through a Trent ball in, Kvaratskhelia back post header. We're going to go ahead and get 2 very quick goals. Stones, Ruben Diaz, Lavia with ball over the top to Yeremy Pino, who gets his goal for Manchester City. Yeremy Pino on the ball again, finds Foden, great ball through to Erling Haaland. Made a mistake from the goalkeeper, but he does manage to finish it off in the end. It's going to be 2-2 here with Salah on the ball, finding Kvaratskhelia at the back post. Fantastic goal again, but that's all their goals done. And we're just getting started. Haaland's going to score from the penalty spot, and the final goal is going to come from Haaland on the ball, going to battle, find De Bruyne, and he's going to blast it home at 36 years of age to make it 4-2 in this one. Again, a very sort of tight, tough game against Liverpool. We've got a fantastic side now this far in the future. And would you tell me, if that was the only trophy we won, a proper trophy, you wouldn't believe me, would you? I made the signings and made things worse. We got knocked out in the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup by Arsenal and knocked out in the semi-finals of the Champions League by PSG. We lost to Liverpool, which means the title still stays in England for the whole time. But a 7-5 aggregate game is absolutely outrageous. Lost 6-1 at home, it looks like. Very weird FM. Classic FM. Just chucking up some very random results. In the Premier League as well, we did lose the title. We didn't win it. Liverpool won it on 84 points. We had 81, meaning we've actually won the league once in 5 years. And I promise you, this isn't a sort of like mission to stop Manchester City winning trophies. That's not why I've done this. It very much looks like it. However, with 84 points, 81 points, sorry, a 64 goal difference. Haaland over 100 goals again. He scored 234 goals in 137 games. This season was his best with an 8.58 average rating. I mean, this guy's very good, isn't he? I mean, I'm going to have to tally it up before I start recording for Season 5 because I want to see if he does actually break the Premier League record in just 6 seasons. That'd be pretty outrageous. In terms of how the team actually done this year, 14 goals and 17 assists for Nico Williams, 11 and 14 from De Bruyne, 21 and 27 from Phil Foden, 11 and 16 from Yeremy Pino, and obviously 103 and 20 from Erling Haaland, 22 assists from Julian Alvarez, 12 assists from Jack Grealish, Cole Palmer just 3 and 4, James McAtee just 2 and 1, Gabri Vega just 1 and 1 as well. Not getting too much game time, to be honest. Nathan Ake again playing a fairly decent role. Akanji with 15 and 24 as well. And a few of the Wonder Kids actually got in and played a few games as well, which is quite good to see. New signing Devin Wrench also done quite well, scoring a goal and assist and a 6.91 average rating. Lavia as well, a 7 average rating next to Rodri. Fantastic, 4 goals and 7 assists. More money to spend, £312 million. And I'm going to go and get the best Wonder Kid in the game, shall we? Let's go and bring in Gavi, I think, in that number 10 role. Just imagine a world of Gavi and Foden in cam behind Erling Haaland. I mean, that is pretty scary, isn't it? And obviously on FM we can make these things happen. I've not titled this one as a realistic rebuild, but £165 million. We've brought in one of the best talents in real life. And you know the scariest part is we're in 2027. This guy is just 23 years of age. Great stats all round. Great dribbling, first touch, anticipation, composure. There's too many stats that are dark green to read out. He's extremely consistent. He loves a big match. I had to get it in somewhere in this video. I mean, he's absolutely fantastic. I mean, like I said, a front three triangle of Foden, Gavi and Haaland is a little bit scary and a little bit fun. And I think there's someone as well that I'd quite like to bring in DM to sort of play across Romeo Lavia. That man's Jude Bellingham. He's had his fun in Real Madrid for 4 years. It's now time for him to come to Manchester City and dominate England as well. 20 determination, great flair, passing. I mean, it's Jude Bellingham. We know how unbelievably fantastic this guy is. And again, he's only 25 years of age at this point, I say, which is mind-numbingly scary because he is one of the best players to watch in real life already, and he's just fantastic. So Jude Bellingham is also here at Manchester City, along with Gavi, Foden, Haaland. So is Andrew Omabamidele. Now, it's not quite the star names that were brought in recently, but a very, very good centre-half. Obviously, has been at Norwich his whole career and has done absolute wonders for him as well, keeping him in the Premier League for a few seasons. As a backup centre-half, I think he's fantastic. He sort of helps with the quota. He's very consistent. He loves a big match. He's very big. He's very good. And he's very fast at centre-back as well. So, sort of suits coming in as a backup centre-half. And the other one who brought in is Etienne Tipple. Now, a 5-star wonder kid. Good potential in him. Obviously not a real-life player, but good to come in and be a backup centre-half. Now, leaving the club on the free transfers, I think we actually had quite a few. We had, oh no, we didn't actually. I completely lied. A few of the younger players in real life have left the club, but no one major. And I mean, the squad now is looking outrageous. So far, a start 11 of Edison, Wrench, Diaz and Guardiola. Rodri and Bellingham as the two DMs, Nico Williams, Gavi, Foden, Pino and Haaland, with Evans, Omabamidele, Dennis Moses and Tipple as the backup centre-backs, Rico Lewis, Lavia as the backup DMs, Jack Nichols, who is a younger player that's come through the academy. I showed you him earlier on. He looks absolutely fantastic. Kevin De Bruyne, Gabriel Vega, Cole Palmer, Julian Alvarez, John Stones, Jack Grealish still at the club, and Kevin De Bruyne now at 37 years of age. He still looks quite good and looks like he'd probably dominate every single game he's playing still, because the stats are absolutely outrageous. And the player that he is, he doesn't really need the pace. So we'll see what Kevin De Bruyne can do in season number 5. Again, lots of trophies to go ahead and win. Let's try and bring home all 5 in this final season. Season number 5, let's go and win it all. We'd like to know that Erling Haaland has absolutely battered Alan Shearer's Premier League goal record. He scored 260, Alan Shearer, in his Premier League career, and Erling Haaland in 6 years has got 312 goals in just 6 seasons, scoring another 76 in this season overall. Played just 25 games this season after a few quite big injuries. He's actually been quite injury prone the whole time. He's had quite a few injuries this season as well, when, you know, maybe a little bit of age catching up to him. He's only 28. I mean, this guy's an absolute robot. Just 25 starts and still managed to bag 42 goals. So Erling Haaland has absolutely smashed through Alan Shearer's record. So a little bit of fun. We have managed to do that one. Now, Champions League, we obviously won it in the first couple of seasons. Are we going to win it in season number 5? So to cap things off, what do you guys reckon? Of course we have. We managed to beat Liverpool in a 3-0 victory. Foden on the ball down the line is going to battle side by side. Let's speed this up a little bit, shall we? He's going to get the ball into the box and Haaland is going to poke it home for 1-0. Foden on the ball again, whipping it in to Haaland at the back post, who scores another goal and a third one of Rodri. Haaland, now he sets up Foden. He sets through Jeremy Pino to make it 3-0 in 14 minutes, and that was it. That's all she wrote. A 5-minute burst of goals, and we absolutely battered them. And that was it. We won the Champions League, and obviously very good to tick that one off as well. Carabao Cup, are we going to win that one? Yes, a 4-1 victory against Newcastle. 2 from Erling Haaland, 1 from Pino and 1 from Rodri, and a goal from Alexander Isak from Newcastle. Was it enough to stop us? And Jeremy Pino this season, 20 assists and 9 goals. A fantastic signing. He looks absolutely outrageous now. Just the age of 26. Another absolute wonder kid here at Manchester City, looking very, very good. Premier League, did we win that one? We did indeed. Level on points with Arsenal, but 77 points. We have managed to do it. We did win just 2 Premier League titles all time in 5 years, which is a little bit poor, I have to say. But again, it wasn't a sabotage mission. Just a 3-year FFP ban will do that to you. So stop getting your 115 charges, Manchester City. Again, completely, I don't know if this is going to happen. It's just a little bit of fun. But Haaland with 42 goals, an 8.42 average rating, Foden with 15 assists, and Kevin De Bruyne, we mentioned he's very good. He still played 50 games and got 22 assists at the age of 37. So Yeah, and he turns 38 in like 15 days. So he's a little bit good. He's actually retiring after playing 50 games in the Premier League and lifting another sort of fake treble, because we didn't win the FA Cup. We're knocked out in the 5th round by Leeds. We did win the Community Shield, one of the biggest trophies out there to win. We won it in 4 out of the 5 seasons, so I think that's a massive, massive dub. So we won 5 trophies, including the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. I think we won it just once. We won it twice, actually, so that's 7 trophies. Champions League, won 8, 9, 10 trophies, and the Premier League we won just twice. So 12 trophies in 5 years here at Manchester City, and the club is looking very, very good. 76 goals for Erling Haaland, 9 and 20 from Pino, 13 and 30 assists from Phil Foden. Gavi with 7 goals and 8 assists. Nico Williams 10 and 18. Bellingham, fantastic DM partnership with Rodriguez, 6.98 average rating. Gvardiol, Devin Wrench, Ruben Diaz, fantastic. The Wonder Kids here are outrageous, and like I said, this reboot file is available in the Patreon down below, so make sure you're heading down to that one. If you haven't already, head over and watch the Aston Villa rebuild. It's an absolute banger, and trust me, you don't want to miss us winning another Champions League.